It's Platt. If the holidays have you feeling a little scatterbrained, I've got a treat for you. That's next to Platt's Drink of the Week. So we're still in the holiday mood here, and I've got something fun. And, this time of year, you go to the liquor store, they're going to have all kinds of, holiday treats, and I've got one right here. Scatterbrain Peanut Butter Holiday Nog. I bought this bottle at $19.99. It comes in at 30 proof. Again, just one of those items that just stopped me, looked like fun. I had to get it. The bottle tells me Scatterbrain, like I said, Peanut Butter Holiday Nog. They don't use the term egg in there. And looking through the bottle, I don't see it noting anywhere the real eggs being used or not. So maybe this is not a true quote-unquote eggnog, but it's a holiday nog. I love right by the elephant, it said, check twice, nutty and nice. You gotta love that. This is a product of Universal Products, a subsidiary of a company called United States Distilling Products. They are based out of Princeton, Minnesota. I believe they also may use the name Phillips Distilling. This is a big company that has been around for over 40 years now. They were started in 1981. And what they did and what they still do today is basically they start off producing product for private brands. A good example is your regional grocery store chain that has its own line of vodka, gin, rum, what have you, generally in plastic bottles, that kind of thing. They produce that for them. They don't necessarily have products in-house that they push. It's not like Jim Beam that makes Jim Beam or what have you. They produce generally products for other people. I do believe they have like a Phillips line of vodka, but that's about it. It was founded, like I said, over 40 years ago. They do have some brands that you may know of now. They do UV vodka, some of Trader Vic's line of products, which I think I've reviewed, like their scotch, which obviously they wouldn't have made, but they do some of their products, and the LaRue line of cordials, things like your peach schnapps, peppermint schnapps, sloe gin, generally something you would see on a back bar. They help produce that. This is a company that if you're wanting to start your own spirit line, you would contact them to do the contract work. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, at one time I had my own spirits brand, and I actually did contact them. They were one of the companies I had talked to about producing. I went with another company. I think, if I remember right, they just did batches too big for me or my purpose. The Scatterbrain line of was created kind of as the counter to Screwball peanut butter whiskey. That kind of really became a trend a few years ago. Scatterbrain came out. It is a Canadian whiskey-based product line. Now, they have other flavors today, including cookie dough, PB&J, and vanilla cake, just to name a few. Now, one of the questions I get is, how can they make this stuff? How do you make a PB&J liqueur, what have you? Generally, what happens in the process, and what when starting my business investigation was, you would kind of go to a flavor lab. There's early labs that just try to come up with as many flavors as you can. Raisin, oatmeal, cookie, arugula, strawberry, cheesecake, pepperoni, what have you. And you would see if they could create a flavor that you like, and then they would put it in some form that you could add to whatever product, whether it be a spirit, a hard seltzer, ice cream, you name it. They create the flavor, and then you go to someone, all right, well, add it to vodka now to make it a flavored vodka or whatever. But that's how that gets done. Now, this jumped out at me just because of the peanut butter. If you know me personally, or even if you've watched the channel, notice I've done some videos around peanut butter beers, or I make my own peanut butter cream liqueurs. I love peanut butter, so I thought this is a perfect excuse to do a little research on peanut butter, the history. The earliest known mentions of peanut butter come to us from the Aztec and the Incas. Apparently, they would take roasted peanuts and ground it into a paste and just kind of leave it at that. Now, modern day peanut butter, as we know it, didn't come about to the late 1800s. More specifically, 1884, when a gentleman named Marcellus Edson in Montreal, Canada, applied and got the first patent for the process to make peanut butter. I don't know if he ever went on to create a whole line or whatever, but he got the patent to make peanut butter. Move ahead to 1917, and it's World War I, and the government at the time is starting to ration certain supplies because we need stuff to send to the troops. And one of the things they pushed for was a meatless Monday. Well, to make up the protein gap, one of the things they started pushing was the use of peanut butter. Peanut butter, high in protein, so they were pushing that as a source of kind of a replacement for meat. We were already replacing meat over 100 years ago. One of the rumors or stories about peanut butter that is not necessarily true was that George Washington Carver created peanut butter. He did a lot of writings about peanuts just in general and all the various uses, but some of his biggest writings didn't come till about 1916, again, years after 1884 when Mr. Edison had gotten the patent. Mr. Carver was highly important in the scientific world and agricultural world. The peanut butter world, though, wasn't necessarily his that he started. We move ahead to 1922, and a gentleman named Joseph Rosefield got the patent for the process to make creamy peanut butter. And basically, the important step he took was he's able to figure out a way to create peanut butter where the oil didn't separate. Sometimes if you see an old jar of peanut butter that's been laying around, maybe it was open, then kind of laid around, you'll see the oil separate. He created a process to stop that. Now, one of the first things he did with that process was in 1928, he licensed it to the company that made Peter Pan peanut butter. And of course, we know that went on to become one of the bigger brands. 4 years later, in 1932, he decided to get in the game and start his own line of Peter known as Skippy. So we've got Skippy and then Peter Pan. Move ahead to 1955, and Procter & Gamble decided to get in the business, and they gave us Jif. Choosy Mothers Choose Jif. You remember the old commercials. Now, where they stuck out was they were the first to throw some sugar and molasses into their peanut butter. That's sweetening it up even more and kind of got us to what we have today, modern day peanut butter. But I love peanut butter, and I thought that was just fascinating. So with that being said, let's drink some peanut butter nog. All right, nice and creamy, kind of, it's got a brownish, milky kind of look. Let's just go ahead and dive in. Oh, right as I'm putting it up, I can already smell that peanut butter, and it's just right there. Oddly enough, even though it's only 30 proof or 15% alcohol by volume, I do notice it. I do feel at the throat and going down. The alcohol was noticeable. That being said, that just goes down too easy. That would be a fun shear that probably could get you in trouble because it just goes down so easy. It's so tasty. I will say this, it drinks fairly easy. It's not overly viscous. Some classic eggnog could get kind of viscous on you. Some of these other products, when making a cream type liqueur, can get really viscous. This has a kind of a medium-ish body, not a bigger body to this, but man, that is good. That would go great over top of some ice cream, maybe throw it in the blender. You know what, make you an adult peanut butter milkshake out of this. Maybe throw this in with a little chocolate milkshake. If you want to get really fun, get you some, scoop of vanilla ice cream, throw in a banana, a shot or two of this stuff. OMG, I bet it's absolutely good. You know what? $20 for this bottle, it would be the hit of a holiday party if you took it out. I'm definitely going to have a couple more of these while editing this video. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or things from the liquor store you'd like me to try, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.